So this is Justin P for the first video for the final for engines. So in this video I'll be going over the demo and then just all the things that a user would need to start up a simple game in my engine. So I'll go and show this first. As you can see, we have AI moving around the player here in the middle, able to shoot them. And then also, if I run into them, I've got little hearts up in the top left. If I run into them, I lose a heart, and if I hit them again, I reset. The AI is using alarms for their movement, and then also when I'm getting hit, obviously I'm not immediately getting killed. It's using alarms to make sure that I lose a maximum of 1 health per second, and then I can shoot them, and then once I've shot them I can go over here and change to the next scene. So that's just kind of a general overview of the basics to get things up and running in my game. So I'll go ahead and go over that real quick. I'll start with the scene. Pretty simple, just got enemies, HUD elements, the lights and the world objects, and of course the player. And then so I'll show this real quick. This is just the general setup. The scene managers, of course, for the I'm sorry, this is not scene manager. This is the collision pairs. Updating the scene for the God Cam, the visualizer, and of course the cleanup at the end. Then I'll go and show the enemy real quick. So in this here, like I said, it's using alarms for its movement, some general setup stuff here. It's using the graphics object texture light, and then of course using the managers. This is the position setup, and of course the the collision registration, and then this was a specialized constructor, so it's just the same thing. The only difference is it's inputting a position, but that's neither here nor there. So this is for, like I said, the alarms for the movement, doing that properly, and then of course collisions, colliding with the bullet. And then these are just coincidental, just put there. For the updates, this is the movement here, and then of course checking if its health was 0. It's also able to use the game object life cycle and disable itself here if its health reaches 0. Other than that, it's just the draw, which has the visualizer in it. I've included a debug variable here that's able to, let's see, it's up here in the constructor. If the user changes this to false, it will turn off the visualizer, so that they, don't have to see a gigantic sphere around all of their objects. So that's that for the enemy. Then of course we have the HUD element, which is basically just a collection of 3 sprites on the screen. So it's using the game object 2D, which is basically a sprite, for that, and then of course the update and draw, setting it all up, and then updating it, of course, if the player loses health, it changes. All it does is it changes the position right now, so it's off screen, but it visually looks the same as deleting the sprites. Other than that, it just renders it to the 2D camera, and that is that. Lastly, the bullet factory, of course, is in here. It's the singleton, so that there's not a billion bullets in the game as the player keeps playing. This is just this is something the user would make anyways, but I'll just put it in here briefly real quick. I'll just scroll through it. So that is working as well. So that should be everything for this first section. I should also put in the load resources is here that defaults to starting out in user code, so they know to add things into that. So yeah, that's that. Thank you.